Hi, this is Astra and Natasha.
Hi.
And this is The Good Life. And we are here at Esther's place. And what Natasha does here is she shears wool from her sheeps and then dyes it. And this is actually some of it hanging here.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about this?
Yeah, well, welcome to Esther's Place. We've been here for about 16 years. We do all kinds of fiber art, and it basically started with our sheep. We started with 2 sheep back in 2000 or so. And from there, I was given a spinning wheel, and I just kind of dove into all this fiber art stuff and really fell in love with it. We opened Esther's Place in 2006, and just a fun little note, Esther was actually one of our sheep on our farm, and so everybody always asks if I'm Esther, but no, she was actually a sheep. But we do the whole process. So the fiber gets shorn in the spring. We then send it to a mill in Michigan where they wash the wool, they card the wool, and it comes back, and then we dye the wool. We do kits, we do classes, we do all kinds of cool stuff with schools. We just do the gamut. So anything with fiber, spinning, knitting, felting, dyeing, weaving, we do all that fun stuff. So yeah, right now it's really colorful. We're getting ready for some big shows and events and things like that. But yeah, we can take a little tour around if you like. And
Sure. And where will you be showing some of these projects at?
Yeah, so our fall schedule, we've got some of the teacher conferences, or art teacher conferences. We'll be going to Wisconsin and Illinois. We're going to be at the Fine Art of Fiber at the Chicago Botanic Gardens.
Okay.
And then we're also going to be doing a live virtual Facebook show at the end of October with all of our dyed fibers and things like that. So that's kind of what's coming up in the next few weeks or so.
Awesome. I will look out for that. I have been really impressed with your videos.
Yeah.
All during COVID times, you were not only farming, but showing all the produce. And I was super impressed with that because myself, growing produce, I know what it's like. And to get a moment to sit there and film everything, especially on CSA Day, that's pretty impressive.
We do a lot of different things. I wear a lot of different hats, and I have to say, you know, photography wasn't really a thing, or you know, video engagement until I had one of our CSA volunteers whose mother was a photographer, and she also did professional photography, and the stuff that she would capture on her iPhone was just amazing. And so Kayla really kind of helped me to engage more, and I like it. I love interacting with my customers and having them see some of the behind the scenes stuff. So yeah,
Very
that's
cool.
what we're going to do today.
Awesome. And I'm one of those people that doesn't get out of the house very often, so getting to see everything is just so cool.
Yeah.
And getting over here is really neat because I didn't realize it was a house right here in Big Rock, Illinois. And we are on, what is the
Route
corner?
30.
We're right here on Route 30. And what intersection is this?
This is like Oak Street or Lincoln or something like that. But yeah, right
so
in
if you're
downtown Big Rock.
right when you're driving into downtown Big Rock, it's just a beautiful Victorian house here.
1895, yep.
And the sign says open. You can just walk on in. And so let's take a little walk around and show them what else you have here.
Yeah, so not only do we like make everything and engage in creating all of our own kits and fibers and things like that, but then I also have my own wearable art and things like that I do for art shows. So over here we've got some of the different things.
I'm going to ask really quickly what this is. I was walking past that.
This is called a drum carder. Let me pull a little fiber together and we'll do a demo here. So this is what I love to use to kind of mix together my magical colors. And here we are blending together some of the fiber that's already been dyed.
Oh, wow. So you're mixing the colors together.
Yep. These are really great right now. I've been making a lot of fun fall blends for pumpkins and other things like that. And sometimes I'll even put a little sparkle in there as well, and just make a lot of fun colors. So we run it through just once here, and then we take it off and we blend it through again. So this is called a drum carder, and sometimes we use this in our classes and things like that. Sometimes it's something that I use to create different bats of fiber.
Wow.
So that's one time through, and then blending again just kind of homogenizes those colors even further.
That's so fun. So you actually let people use this when they come in?
Yeah, yes, I have, a few classes that we do actually use it and stuff. And it's always, kids just love cleaning off the drum carder.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, and
awesome.
It makes a great background for like a landscape or something like that. So yeah, a lot of fun. So every little corner is filled with interesting things. It's kind of like a big I Spy in here. So yeah.
And wool is very interesting how it works. Do you want to explain to everybody how it locks together?
Yeah, so like a raw wool piece, I'll grab a little bit here so you can see kind of the transition. So when the sheep are shorn in the spring, we get about 8 to 10 pounds worth of wool off of them, and that has, the lanolin, which constitutes for about half of the weight. And so that's going to wash out eventually. And of course, lanolin is captured to be put in all kinds of wonderful cosmetics and lotions and things like that. So then we wash that wool and it turns nice and white. It has to get carded and brushed out. But the fibers are so fantastic because if you take a tiny bit of wool and put it under a microscope, it's going to have these little notches on it that tangle the fibers together. And that causes it to kind of stick and hold together. It also gives it the ability to felt. And so it's really just a very diverse product. And there's over 900 different breeds of sheep out there. So you have a lot of range from very, very soft wools to wools that are very sturdy and hard wearing. So depending on what you're making, you might choose one wool over another for that purpose. So yeah, we are all about wool here.
And you also teach how to dye the wool here, correct?
Mm-hmm, we do, yeah. We have dyeing classes. Some of the dyeing classes we do where you just call us up and schedule and you bring your own things to dye. So like if you have, clothing or yarn or fibers that you want to dye, we kind of custom, work that with you. And so that's really a fun experience. And we do, all kinds of classes for every step of the process, really. But I think our main thing is we kind of gear towards, single project, single experience classes. So something anybody can do, whether they're crafty or not. And, short, like 1 to 2 hour classes that are really fun and very kid friendly too. So yeah, that's kind of our main thing. But we offer the whole gamut. So if you want to learn how to make yarn, want to learn how to dye the fiber, or just want to come make something cute, we got you covered.
I've heard of both. I know someone who has sheep and sandwich, and she's come to learn to dye wool from you. And then I know plenty of children that have come here to. One was here actually recently, spindling the wool straight from the sheep, and then they did a felting project. And I thought that was pretty cool because it was from beginning to end. Where it came from. The kids really get to see that.
Yeah, just give people a better appreciation of how much work goes into everything we grow, from food to fiber, really just, appreciating the farmers even more as you see the whole process it undergoes. So
I like that. And so these are some pieces that Natasha's actually made here from scratch from that same wool that you saw in the other room. And tell us about this dress here.
Yeah, so another, aspect of what we do is wearable art. And so a lot of the art that I take to art shows and things like that is part of like my designer collection of wearable art. Most of my pieces are made through wet felting, which is a process that uses soap and water, scrubbing and rubbing to fuse together a very thin, lightweight fabric with a soft, fine wool on top. And so it creates a very lightweight yet warm and durable fabric. And so this dress was one that I created kind of Cyndi Lauper inspired, and this is what I would picture a sophisticated Cyndi Lauper wearing.
Exactly,
and it's called We All Just Want to Have Fun, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And so I just really enjoy kind of bringing the beauty and the surprise of fiber into people's lives in the form of wearable art. And it's something that you can take and wear and enjoy, and other people can enjoy, and so it's kind of a different aspect than art that you can hang on your wall. And so I do all kinds of different things, from scarves, but a lot of my pieces that are kind of more designer runway pieces are inspired and done for fashion shows throughout the year and stuff like that. So I have several pieces right now that will be at a fashion show at the end of this month. That is part of my new collection, so I'm very excited about those.
That is exciting. And where is that at?
So that's going to be the Uncommon Threads fashion show that Fine Line does, and that is October 16th.
Okay, very soon.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So the pieces are all there. They are getting runway models and all of that, and then I will be there with my booth, on Sunday, the 16th of October. With hopefully some new art as well.
Super cool. So in these pieces I saw there are things like this where they're you know, a little funkier and you're making a statement. And then there's also everyday pieces like jackets and vests. And then
Yep. So yeah, sometimes I pair together like my fabric that I've created with other interesting fabrics. This one, for example, was a hand woven fabric that I bought from a weaver in Albuquerque. And so that was really a fun piece. I know this one caught your eye, and this one actually...
That one caught my eye because I thought, wow, that's like a dress somebody could wear out to something fancy, and it looks so
the fabric here on the top was actually fabric that I bought in Rome, and I went into this beautiful fabric shop and they had all these luxury fabrics, and I'm one for taking like small remnants and pieces of fabric and kind of using them as my inspiration. And so I bought a 1/4 meter of fabric, and that was like the inspiration behind the dress. So yeah, it's a really fun piece, and of course kind of feels very fairy-esque.
And you cannot see this through the camera, and I don't want to touch it much, but this is all felted. This whole entire dress from this part down, it's just all felted. And I see how you weaved those shiny fibers into there, like you talked about earlier, and that is just, wow, amazing.
Thank you.
And how many hours do you think total something like this took you?
Oh gosh, you know, I don't know. I really don't keep track of it. I think with art, it's the process rather than the product. So we enjoy the process as much as we do the finished product. So
honestly, how many days do you think it took you?
You know, a good solid couple of days.
Yeah, that's what I thought. A lot of hours went into this dress. Well, that is beautiful. And we are actually, after here, we're going to take a little tour of the farm. So we're going to go out and see the sheep where all of these beautiful products actually started.
Yeah, but if you want to come visit anytime, we're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 10 to 6. And you can stop in, you can see what we're about, you can gather a group of friends and do a class or whatnot. So yeah, it's a fun place, and going to the farm just adds to the whole experience even more.
And I'm not sure if you told us your site to go and look for classes at. What is that?
EstersPlaceFibers.com. And don't forget the H in Esther, because everybody does. It's ESTHERS.
So Esther's.
EstersPlaceFibers.com. And yeah, we have tons of resources on there, including video tutorials for all of our kits, and those are free and accessible. So like if you just want to learn more about the processes that go on here, we also do have some videos of the farm. We've got you know, our classes that we offer, and just all kinds of general information. So you kind of get to visit Esther's Place in a small way by visiting our website, but it's definitely a lot more colorful and warm and fuzzy coming in here in person.
It is. And I follow you on Facebook, and you're probably on other social media outlets.
Instagram and Facebook. Well, that's about all I can do.
That's a lot. So
Esther's Place Fibers is our handle on Instagram, and so yeah.
Is there anything else that we haven't looked at here in the shop that I don't know about?
Well, I was going to say we'll just kind of take you real quick through some of the different fibers. We do have, you know, some different yarns that are locally sourced, kind of wet felting fibers over here, which are, everything is just so fun and colorful. And then we do have all of our fun needle felting kits, and so, you know, we have basically... These are all very doable to go home, follow the video, and create, and there's just tons of fun ones like that. So yeah, there's lots to see and lots to be inspired by. And right now we're definitely in the full fall swing, so a lot of pumpkins and other fun fall stuff. But yeah, it's definitely like a little candy store in here with all the different fibers and all the fun touchy-feely things. Look at, they're just jumping out at you. Yeah, so we've got so many fun little kits to create your own things at home, and it's wonderful because the kits have these easy to follow video tutorials, and they're fun. They're fun for even like a birthday party gift or something.
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah. I was thinking this is the perfect little thing to pandas are one of my daughter's favorites, and I was thinking unicorns. Every little girl loves unicorns. So if you're looking for something for a birthday.
And people have so much nowadays. Like, this is an experience that you can give them, and like grandparents can do it with their grandkids. And it's just, I had a grandma bring her grandson in yesterday, and she was like, he's in a crafty mood today. We're going to pick out a kit, and we're going to go home, and we're going to craft. And so, yeah, it's just really fun to create those memories together. And, when kids have so much nowadays, finding really cool experiences are, it's a fun, important thing to incorporate into their life. So.
And it's a local gift. Like you said, they get inspiration and feel good about something they made themselves.
Yeah.
But they're also so cute, and you don't find this at the store. You find those craft kits that are all the same thing.
Yeah.
Every kid's gotten every one of them.
I think one of my favorites, I did the ultra girly T-Rex, because I feel like, girls should have really cute representation in the dinosaur world as well. And I just love that little toothy grin. So, yeah.
That's so cute.
So lots of fun stuff. So definitely stop on in. But I think we should go see where it all comes from and visit the sheep.
Let's go. I'm excited. Hi, I'm Astra.
And I'm Natasha.
And we're here on The Good Life again. And now we are at Big Rock Organics, or Lamb of God Farm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And do you want to tell us a little bit
Sure.
about... Oh,
Yeah.
I see the sheep are coming out right now to say hello.
They know we're here. They're going to be expecting some food. We might have to feed them a little. So yeah, we've been here on the property for about 22 years. We moved from the Aurora Naperville area out to Big Rock. We got 2 sheep, and it just kind of went from there. We started doing organic vegetables and the wheat and French market in the early 2000s. And so we've been doing vegetables and animals and hay and everything like that, kind of a just old-fashioned self-sustaining farm, for the last couple of decades or so. Originally it was founded by my family, my parents, my brother and I, and now that everybody's kind of grown up and moved away and done their own thing, my husband and I have kind of taken over day-to-day operations, and my mom still lives here at the property and gets to enjoy seeing what the farm has become. So yeah, come visit the farm with us here. We're going to meet the animals and everything like that. And I know the sheep are certainly looking forward to getting some visitors. They're pretty well trained to know that people equals food, so they know to anticipate us. So yeah, let's go say hi to the ponies, and then we'll go say hi to the sheep.
And what inspired you to carry on this lifestyle, or your parents' legacy?
Well, I mean, when you've done it for so long and you've put so much work into developing kind of the client basis and the process and everything, it just kind of seemed like a logical thing to keep going. My husband brought to the table his, kind of problem solving and his landscape background and his mechanical wherewithal, and so he's really been able to improve some of our processes and build and grow the business. I've kind of added, doing video blogging every week with our CSA box and stuff like that. And then we've also added home delivery to our CSA, so that's been really nice, especially with the pandemic. So yeah, it just kind of has naturally evolved to this point. And so we really love doing the farming and try to do it the best and most efficient way that we do, as we juggle all the different hats that we wear. So it just is kind of, already established, and we thought, well, let's just keep the ball rolling and see what we can add to the mix. So.
And I've seen some of your dinner videos, so your family's eating well.
Yeah.
And you feed quite a few families. How many families do you feed?
So we have about 45 to 50 people or families in our CSA, and we deliver to the kind of greater western suburbs, from Aurora to Wheaton, and then up Randall Road down to Oswego, Yorkville area. So kind of all over. But yeah, it's really a pleasure to be a part of people's families, as you well know. And we've had people in our CSA for a decade or longer, which is really cool. And we try to do a few markets here and there, but mainly the CSA is our is our main thing, and then we also have the farm stand, which is self-serve on the weekends as well, in front of Esther's place. So yeah, we kind of do a lot of different things, but we attempt to do all of them well. So it's been a fun adventure. So yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I can relate to a lot of that. My husband is the mechanical part,
Yep.
and kind of brought me more into standard rows versus my permaculture type of way that I like to do, and also helps with the mechanical part. So
I'm like my heritage is Slavic, so I'm like the Slavic workhorse mentality. Like, you just need to work harder and just push harder. And he's like, no, that's what tractors are for. So
correct. Yep.
It's a good partnership, but we definitely are trying to make it more sustainable, as we're busy and have a very strenuous lifestyle, and none of us are getting any younger. Try to do things smarter, not harder.
Correct. I always fight myself on that too. I do it harder for a while until I'm talked into the smarter way. Eventually I learn, and we all learn.
We do, one way or another, usually through a bad back or something like that. But
and
fun animals here at the farm. We have our little rescue ponies here. This is Misty and Charlie horse, and they're cute. They are a little naughty, but they are very cute, and we love their presence here at the farm. We did. Then we have the girls, so let's go say hi. Hey girls, you want to come say hi? Hey girls!
Here's the fun
Apparently
part.
we're no competition for green grass. Hey girls!
We're gonna feed them.
Hey girls! Hey Raya, where are you? Come here, girls! Come on, girls! There you are! Come on! So these are our girls. They're the Cheviot sheep that our whole story is kind of founded upon. We started out with 2 sheep and eventually grew our flock. We have about 20 sheep now. Hey girls, you want to come say hi? You want to come say hi? I know, you are licking your lips. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hi everybody. So yeah, they get shorn in the spring. Oh, this is going to be fierce competition here. You want to help me out?
Sure.
And they get shorn in the spring.
So this is grain similar to what we give the chickens.
Oh yeah, they love it. Hi girls. Hello everybody.
See, this is what will happen to me if I get goats, because I get my goat milk for my soap from another farmer. And we talk about getting 2 little goats, and I know this is what will happen.
Well, we did have one very adventurous ram that jumped the fence one year, and he bred everybody, so that kind of grew our flock rather rather quickly.
And they're really gentle when they're licking it out of your hand.
Oh yeah. So we do a lot of farm tours and kids groups and things like that. So the sheep are very well trained to know that people usually means food and everything. So yeah, these are all the girls, and they range in age. Sheep usually live about 7 to 10 years. And so we have our grandma sheep over there. She's our oldest one, and you can definitely tell she's an older one. She's kind of skinny and whatnot. And then our youngest 3, we have little lambs from the spring that were born. And these are our little lambs. Hey guys, how are you? And there's a ram, and there's 2. This is Barbara Ann. And this is little sister,
Look
and
at
that's
the
big
little
brother.
lambs here.
Hi.
There's a couple of them.
Guys, how are you?
What breed did you say this is
So
again?
these are Cheviots, and originally Cheviots came from the Cheviot Hills of Scotland, which is a region between Scotland and England, and it's kind of known for being a rugged, rambling hill country. And so they're a very sturdy breed. They are very hardy. They're very good mothers, and they don't have any wool on their faces or their legs. They're very distinctive looking, and they give a good wool for needle felting. Their wool isn't super soft, but it is really sturdy and great for needle felting. And that's kind of how we started our adventure with all of the wool stuff. Was, we were seeing that sheep raised in this area were not necessarily fetching, a price for their wool, and producers were like, we really are not being able to sustain ourselves. We're losing money raising sheep, and yet on the other hand, I had all these friends and people in the fiber industry who, you know, were paying top dollar for yarn and fiber, and there was just a general disconnect between what was being paid on the market for wool and what, you know, it was being sold for in the crafting world. And so we really wanted to try to kind of bring those worlds together and help sheep producers know how to get their product to the market and to people who would use it, but then also help people learn how to use the fibers, and so kind of marry the worlds of art, agriculture, and education together. And so that is really what we did in starting Esther's Place. And so, you know, keeping lambs on the landscape and sheep as our core value has really kind of guided everything that we've done. So yeah.
Do you ever milk the sheep?
Ours are not really a milking breed.
Okay.
They really don't yield enough milk to make it worthwhile. They produce just enough for their young, and that's about it. So yeah, unfortunately not really something we get into. But once upon a time I had goats and I did the whole milking cheese soap thing, but you marry the dairy, so that was definitely one thing that had to kind of go by the wayside.
I'm interested in finding some sheep's milk because my mom used to get sheep's milk ricotta cheese, and it was a really good ricotta cheese, but I haven't found any yet. But
yeah, you really need a breed that is particularly bred for milking. It's just kind of like the Holsteins versus, you know, a beef cow. They're just going to be built differently, and you know, you're just not going to quite get that yield. So yeah.
Are these sheep always this color in this breed?
Yeah, we really have never had a black sheep, and you know that you hear that phrase, the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
And occasionally, genetically, they'll throw a black sheep.
Okay.
And we have never had that, but you know,
I do see little freckles on the ears that are black.
They do get some spottings and some markings, which is helpful in terms of telling them apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we've never had a black sheep. Now there are particular breeds that are actually you know, different natural colors, and you'll find a great range of colors, but this one is not, which gives me a good palette to dye from. If I had, you know, black sheep, I might not be able to dye quite so many lovely colors, but
have you ever thought of getting another breed for that reason, to get a different type of wool?
Yeah, you know, I haven't, but sometimes getting other animals to blend in with your flock can be a challenge. So that's definitely something, you know, we've kind of ran into, getting all the animals to be harmonious together. So yeah, I don't know about that, but I do know a lot of sheep people, so I got people for that when I need it.
I understand that, because people are always trying to donate a chicken or a rooster, and I'm like, the girls are doing fine. I don't want to mess with anything. Let's leave them alone.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Well, this is beautiful. Thank you for showing us around. And this one's like, I want more. I'm not gonna go away.
I will say it does kind of give light to the phrase, you know, the grass is greener on the other side, because it almost always is.
That's funny.
Right now they're just looking for extra grain to pick up, but yeah, most of the time they've grazed the grass inside the pasture, and there's always a greener patch right outside of them.
But after they leave, it's a lot greener, and in the farm industry, you know, because of commercial agriculture, they've given animals a bad name. But around here, where there's plenty of cattle and sheep and other animals, you see the pastures, and they're beautiful.
Oh yeah, and I mean, we try to implement rotation and things like that. And sheep are very efficient grazers, and they do a very good job of, you know, keeping the grass maintained without damaging it. So yeah, they're pretty good at their job. We do take and compost all of their manure and then put that back on the garden and everything. So it is a full process, and yeah, they're very sweet. We definitely have a few very special ones that have won our hearts over. We have one named Raya, who we bottle fed last year, and she follows us around like a little dog. She's kind of getting older now, that she's a little more independent, but when she was little, she would follow us out to the garden and just like come along with us. And so yeah, she's a real sweetie. She didn't get along so well with the baby lambs born this year, because she felt like she was the baby and they were stealing her thunder, but they are quite lovely, and it's always fun when people come to visit the farm. to be able to experience that. And we do set up farm tours by appointment so people can come and
Great to know.
schedule that
Awesome.
for a small group or
So if
a
anybody
family
wants
or
to come
whatnot.
by here and see this beautifulness in Big Rock, Illinois, you can just call Natasha here at Esther's Place, and she'll bring you here to feed these beautiful animals. And I was just going to say that even though this is so much hard work, I can see from the smile on your face when you're with them that it's so good for your soul.
Yes, they are really lovely, and each one has their own personality and story, and they do give very good cuddles.
Well, thank you. This is awesome.
Yeah.